Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into an industry that's, well, it's literally shaped the modern world, hasn't it? The automotive sector.
Absolutely. A century of driving commerce, culture,
Yeah.
everything.
But don't let that history fool you into thinking it's slow moving.
Hmm.
Right now, it's going through some massive, really rapid transformations, maybe the biggest in generations.
Definitely. The ground is shifting underfoot for the big players. Lots of new pressures.
And that's exactly what we're focusing on today. We're doing a deep dive into a really specific, but I think very telling situation.
Yeah.
What's happening right now in the Italian auto market.
Ah, Italy. Interesting.
Yeah. We're going to look at the challenges facing, the big established group Stellantis, especially on their home ground.
Right.
And then we'll pivot to look at frankly, the pretty staggering rise of new global players. We'll put a spotlight specifically on BYD.
Okay, that contrast is key. The old guard and the new challenger.
Exactly. And our core insights for this, they come straight from a recent article in ilfagoquotidiano.it. The title kind of says it all. Stellantis. Italian woes, BYD rise.
Pretty direct.
It is. And it's not just vague language. The article specifically mentions a calo immatricolazioni.
Which is a decline in registrations, vehicle registrations, hard numbers.
Precisely. And also Alfa Romeo notadi, so news specifically about the Alfa Romeo brand.
Ah, the iconic Alfa.
Okay, let's unpack this. Our mission today is to really dig into what's behind these Italian woes for Stellantis, understand why BYD's emergence is so significant, and, figure out what it all means for the wider auto world.
Sounds good. Where do we start?
Well, let's start with that phrase from the title, Italian woes. When you hear that applied to a giant like Stellantis, particularly in Italy, what does that immediately signal to you?
It signals trouble, obviously, but more than just a bad quarter. Italy is, it's historically foundational for many of the brands under Stellantis. Think Fiat, Alfa, Lancia.
Right, part of the national identity almost.
Exactly. So woes there suggest something deeper than just market fluctuations. It hints at potential structural issues, maybe a disconnect with the local market, or intense competitive pressure.
And the article gives us that concrete metric you mentioned, calo immatricolazioni, the decline in registrations. That's not just a feeling, that's data.
Right. It's tangible evidence.
So when you see registrations dropping in a key home market like Italy for a company this size, how serious is that? Is it like a minor blip, or does it point to bigger challenges?
Well, what's fascinating here is that a sustained decline like that, especially in a home market, is very rarely just a minor blip.
Okay.
It often signals multiple things happening at once. It could be, big shifts in what consumers actually want, maybe moving away from the types of cars Stellantis has traditionally excelled at in Italy.
Like smaller city cars, maybe?
Perhaps, yeah. Or maybe towards EVs, where competitors might be stronger or perceived as stronger. Then there's the heightened competition itself, which we'll get to. And you can't ignore broader economic factors either, affecting people's ability to buy new cars.
That makes sense.
But for an established player, trouble at home is particularly significant. It's not just sales volume. It's tied to their history, their manufacturing footprint, jobs.
And that national pride point you made earlier.
Absolutely. It can shake investor confidence, impact labor relations. It really forces a hard look at strategies that maybe worked for decades but aren't cutting it anymore. They have to ask, okay, why are registrations declining? Which models? Is our EV transition fast enough for this market? It's fundamental stuff.
That connection between home market performance, identity, and strategy is, it's crucial. But like we said, the article isn't just about Stellantis' problems. It pairs it with the BYD rise.
Right. The other side of the coin.
So let's shift there. You've got this legacy giant, Stellantis, facing these, let's call them headwinds in Italy. And then you have BYD, this relatively new player, certainly on the global stage, rising incredibly fast. What are the wider implications of BYD's growth? Is it just another competitor or something more?
Oh, it's definitely something more. If we connect this to the bigger picture, BYD's rise is genuinely disruptive. Massively so.
Disruptive how?
Well, it's not just another company making cars. It represents a fundamental shift in where auto innovation is coming from and how cars are even made. For decades, it was Europe, Japan, the US dominating, right, with these complex global supply chains.
Yeah, the established order.
What's fascinating about BYD, especially their focus on EVs, is their vertical integration. It's incredible.
Meaning they make more of their own parts.
Way more. The article highlighting their rise is implicitly pointing to this. They don't just assemble cars. They develop their own battery tech. The Blade battery is a big deal. They make their own semiconductors, which is huge right now.
Ah, okay. control over the key components.
Exactly. That gives them immense control over cost, over quality, over how fast they can produce things. It fundamentally challenges the old model where automakers relied heavily on external suppliers for critical tech.
So it's not just competition, it's a different way of operating.
Precisely. BYD's growth signals that the old hierarchy is being seriously challenged. New power centers, new manufacturing ideas. It forces everyone else to look at their own model and ask if it's still fit for purpose. The game is changing, not just the players.
A different operating playbook, I like that.
Oh.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, bringing those two threads together. How might Stellantis's woes in Italy and BYD's rise actually be connected? Is BYD, directly eating into Stellantis's market share there, maybe pulling consumers towards EVs faster than Stellantis is ready for? Or is it more that Stellantis has its own internal challenges and BYD is just really good at seizing the opportunity created by a shifting market?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
And then there's that other piece from the article, Alfa Romeo noticee. News about Alfa Romeo. Such an evocative brand, so much history.
Absolutely. Passion, performance.
How does Alfa fit into this picture? Is news about them a symptom of the wider woes at Stellantis? Or maybe it's part of their strategy to fight back? Or, something core to their future plans?
This raises an important question about that interplay. It's probably not a simple one-to-one cause and effect.
Right.
It's plausible, definitely, that BYD's aggressive push, especially with affordable EVs, is cranking up the pressure everywhere, including Italy. They set a new benchmark for price or technology.
Even if they aren't directly competing on every single model yet.
Exactly. Consumers see what's possible, what's coming, and preferences are shifting towards electrification globally. New players who are EV native, they can often move faster than legacy companies like Stellantis who are managing this huge, expensive transition away from combustion engines.
That baggage of the old infrastructure.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Now, Alfa Romeo, its role is super interesting and complex. News about Alfa could absolutely be a symptom of the woes. If their traditional sporty sedans or SUVs aren't selling well, or if their own move to electric isn't resonating yet, that reflects the broader market challenges and the registration decline.
So, potentially bad news.
Potentially. However, news about Alfa could equally be about Stellantis making strategic moves. Maybe they're launching a key new electric Alfa model. Maybe they're repositioning the brand, pushing it more upmarket, using it as a spearhead for new tech.
A sign of the fight back, perhaps.
Could be. The fact the article specifically mentions Alfa Romeo noticee suggests the brand is important symbolically and strategically within Stellantis. Is it a drag, or is it part of the solution? It really highlights that massive challenge for all legacy automakers. How do you protect and leverage this incredible heritage?
Yeah.
While also radically reinventing yourself for a completely different future. It's a tightrope walk.
It really is.
Yeah.
So what does this all mean then? Taking the insights from that ilfattoquotidiano.edit article about Italy, what's the big takeaway for the wider automotive world?
Well, I think this deep dive really crystallizes a dynamic we're seeing everywhere.
Yeah.
You have these traditional giants like Stellantis facing serious pressure, even on their home turf where they used to be dominant. And at the same time, you have these incredibly agile, often technologically different new competitors like BYD storming the gates.
Operating with those different playbooks we talked about.
Exactly. So national markets, iconic brands like Alfa, they're becoming these really crucial battlegrounds. It's not just about who sells more cars this year. It's about who defines the future of the industry. It's forcing a reinvention of, well, almost everything.
Reinvention, not just optimization. That feels key.
Absolutely. And the dynamics here in the Italian market, they really are a microcosm of bigger global trends, honestly, way beyond just cars. We're just in this era where established industries, ones that seemed unshakable for decades, are facing massive disruption. Not just new tech, but new business models. Players with integrated supply chains, faster innovation cycles.
Coming from unexpected places sometimes.
Exactly. It really hammers home how critical adaptability and speed are now. It's about pivoting, embracing new tech at scale, and really understanding how quickly consumer needs and the competitive landscape can change. Legacy alone isn't enough anymore.
That's a powerful point. And it leaves us with something for you, the listener, to think about. Consider what other long-standing industries might be facing similar seismic shifts. Where else are established leaders being challenged by completely new kinds of players? It makes you realize how quickly dominance can be contested in today's world, doesn't it?
It certainly does. A reminder to never get too comfortable.
Indeed. If you found this deep dive valuable, we'd really appreciate it if you'd give us a like and maybe subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, it genuinely helps us keep digging into these important shifts.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.